Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Good evening, viewers and listeners. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Acho, and I'll be your host today. And today I'm here with my strike partner, who is usually your regular host, but he'll be my analyst for today. Wale,
Of course.
welcome.
Thank you for having me today. It's nice being on the show today.
Hope you had a wonderful day.
Of course.
You were unavoidably absent yesterday.
Of course, I call to duty. You know, when you have to call and to come and do the job, you just have to go to the field and get the news.
All right, we have a lot in store for you on today's package of Sports Orbit. There's plenty of athletics, there's volleyball, we have football, of course, transfer news, and of course, the weekend is here, so you'll be getting some updates on the fixtures for the weekend matches. So, Wale, we'll begin with the Under-20 World Athletics Championship. Oghenebrume's failure has extended Nigeria's lead. Nigeria has been waiting for the past 25 years for a gold medal in the Under-20, but it was not to be, as he couldn't, make it, even though he ran the fastest time, but unfortunately, he just couldn't make the cut. What do you make of this?
Of course, no doubt about it. He's just a young lad. He's just 18 years. We know this competition will further expose him. He will further actually get more experience going forward, because no doubt about it. The Under-22, the Under-20 World Cup in Kenya is a big one, for the Under-20 guys. And at this point in time, they actually need to write, their names in gold so that they can able to get, a sponsorship, getting to be signed up by some universities in the US and in other parts of the world at this point in time. Some athletes are already adopted by some schools in the United States at this point in time. But no doubt about it, I actually performed well. He actually surpassed his own personal best.
Won even the fastest time.
Of course, of 10 points, 13 seconds in that particular. And so going forward, this will actually give him that level of confidence that since he can able to do it at the world youth level, this is the same athlete that will actually grow up to the senior to the senior level. So I feel he can still actually do with more work, with more determination, just for him to put his head on the work and get to do what is needful. I'm very sure the future is very bright for Oghenebrume, because he's just a young lad, 18 years,
Absolutely.
and he's getting to run faster as that some athletes who are above him in other part of the world. So at this point in time, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt, and let's see how what the future holds for him.
Totally enough, the Commonwealth Games will still come up next year, and of course the Olympics in 2023. By then, he must have attained some level of maturity to make it. So still on athletics, Imaobing Uko records fastest time in World Championship. National 400 meters champion Imaobing Uko ran the fastest time in women's heat of the World Under-20 Athletics Championships. And she ran 52.33 seconds. She's through to the final, and we're hoping that this time around she'll be able to clinch a medal, maybe a gold or silver. Do you think she can?
Of course, I don't
go
see
further and make it gold this time.
I don't see anybody stopping her in that particular race, because we saw her in the Olympic game. She ran in the 4 mixed relay, and she actually she did an impressive performance in that particular one.
Absolutely.
Coming to the World Under-20 Championship, she's just 17 years old, and she has already been rolling with the big boys. So she has this experience under her belt. She knows what it takes to actually go around the track in the 400 meters race. I don't see anybody stopping her at this point in time. She has created the world record when it comes to the Under-20 level. So hopefully, I don't see anybody get to beat her at the final of the 400 meter. I feel Nigeria at this point in time will have another goal in the bag in the Under-20 championship in Kenya.
So far, we just won one gold.
One gold and a bronze medal.
And the bronze medal. We're expecting that another gold might just come from.
Of course, another good might certainly come from Imaobing because I don't see any athlete from any other country, despite the fact that we know that the Jamaicans are very very good, the United States are very very good when it comes to that particular hit. But I know Imaobing wants to actually write her name in gold in the world and ensure that she gets to win more medals moving forward.
All right, we wish her well as she prepares for her race. Most likely early hours of tomorrow. Now moving forward, we'll go to volleyball. The Nigerian under-19 volleyball team departed for Iran, yesterday, and at their departure yesterday at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, they are assuring fans of volleyball in Nigeria that they will, make the podium. You think this is possible, or some kind of, just talk to just get the people psyched up?
Of course, we know the volleyball team are a very, very young side. They are two times, champions of Africa. We know their pedigree when it comes to, football, for volleyball at the African scene. It's just for them to actually go to the biggest stage when it comes to the world, championship and conquer. Then at their last outing, they finished, 14th at the rank of at the end of the tournament. But this time, having been in camp in Kaduna, at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium for 3 good months. The players and the officials. I spoke to some of the players and the officials yesterday. I with the president of the Volleyball Federation, and I said that the team are confident and they are not only under pressure for them to actually deliver in the World Championship in Iran. At this point in time, they departed Abuja yesterday, and we are expecting them to hit the capital of Iran later today ahead of their hostilities because they'll be starting their first game in August 24th against the host country, Iran. And we're expecting them to actually do the major work and for them to able to beat the host. Of course, we actually did some videos. I don't know if our producer have it at this point in time. We actually spoke to the player and the president of the volleyball federation. I don't know if my producer have that video at this point in time. Of course, we are still waiting for our producer to actually bring up the video from the volleyball team. I don't know if he has the video now.
Well, while we wait for that, team captain Abayo Michael, while he spoke to Nishman before the departure, and I quote, he said, "We are prepared hard for the tournament. The team is in high spirits, and we are hopeful that we'll do Nigeria proud."
Of course, from what I saw from the players and the officials, they are well relaxed. They are full of confidence. They have trained for over 3 months, and they're actually not getting to leave anything behind. That going forward to actually get to win that particular championship. And hopefully, it's just that Nigeria and Cameroon will be representing the African continent in that particular one. And hopefully, we should see them, getting out to do well in that particular game. We have been seeing them with their kits and all that. They're well kitted. Provision was actually there was no
issue this time around, like we experienced in the Olympics.
Of course, but what actually picked up from the president, he's saying that they need more support from private individual and corporate sponsors. So they should come to the aid of volleyball in the country because the government cannot actually do it alone. That there is actually relevant support, and hopefully we'll be seeing our under 18 girls, are going to play in the in the African Championship very, very soon. So they need a whole lot of support at this point in time. Volleyball has been one game that has changed. It has actually metamorphosed to be a game that will be fighting alongside football in the country at this point in time. Because a certain man talking about Musa Nimrod is on his way and is actually not doing the needful when it comes to volleyball development in Nigeria.
All right, we wish the team well as they go to Iran to try to make Nigeria proud. Moving away from that, we go straight to football, and this time talking about former two-time, CAF champions, Eyimba. Eyimba will begin their preparations for the Confederations Cup next week. Do you see them really making an impact this time? Because last time around, they really didn't make the kind of impact that they are known for on the continent. And it's been quite a while since any Nigerian team actually, won any continental championship. Do you really see Eyimba, doing something spectacular this time, at least to give, Nigerian football some glimmer of hope on the continent?
I feel it's going to be difficult at this point in time for Yimba because as it is now, their main man last season, talking about Anaya Iwala, actually jumped from Yimba and went to join Experience in Tunisia. So it's going to be very, very difficult for Yimba to actually get to pass their last performance.
Because they have other boys who should be able to fill in his shoes.
Of course, but not to that level which Anaya has actually created for Yimba, because their last outing they actually got to the quarterfinal stage. They couldn't actually move past the quarterfinal stage. They were defeated in the quarterfinal stage. We know that they have the experience when it comes to playing in the continent, but those experience, those players actually went unbeaten and actually won the CAF Champions League back to back in 2003 are not there again at this point in time. So the new fresh players who at this point in time they still need the experience. The captain is not in the mix at this point in time because of due to doping issue. I mean, I'm talking about Olapade Sunday at this point in time. But I know Eyimba can actually go there because Nigeria will solely be relying on them for them to actually deliver the goods, because we know it's certain Bayelsa United is the other representative of Nigeria in the CAF Confederation Cup. But I'm hopeful that Eyimba will do a whole lot, but we should not have to take it away from Bayelsa United, because we saw what Bayelsa United did at the finals of the ITO Cup. They defeated they defeated designated champions that we are expecting them to actually win the ITO Cup. I was talking about Nassau United, but they went all the way to win that Confederation Cup. So Eyimba this season is kind of shaky.
Exactly.
I know Fatai or Shaw is actually going to take every game the way they actually come, but let's just see if they can able to qualify from the preliminary stage and head to the group stage, of course, and head to the group stage. Then that is when we now start talking about if they will actually get to surpass the last outing of the quarterfinal finish.
The club spokesman Zazi Barazi disclosed that players will resume training in the fourth week of August for their continental engagements. Eyimba finished third in the 2020-21 NPFL competition, and that gave them the opportunity to represent Nigeria at the CAF Confederation Cup. The draw for the competition's preliminary round was held last week at the CAF headquarters in Cairo, pitting Eyimba against Cotton Sport FC of Cameroon.
Of course, we know the Cameroonians are very good. They have a well-organized league. It's also sad that our league is just finishing so soon, but just finished recently. But I think it's a kind of morale booster for the league.
I'm looking at the league finished not too long ago, and but the time they need to rest before this competition, I don't think the time is adequate enough, because they'll be resuming about next week.
I feel that they should
they shouldn't have. They haven't gotten up to like a month's rest
because they have a whole lot ahead of them at this point in time. They need to actually go back to the drawing board.
Don't you think fatigue might set in with them not getting enough rest?
Fatigue will not actually set in because they're not really playing any major match. It's just for them to get to do some light up training in the camp, get to watch videos from the Cameroonian. You can see how their opponents fare in the last in their own last season, and see where they can able to improve on, and see how they can able to defeat them. So I feel the experience is there, the management is there. It's just the quality of players, if they have that quality of player to actually rise to the occasion, because we know the Cameroonians are very, 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 very good also.
All right, at this point, we'll go for a short break, and when we return, we still have a lot in store for you on Sports Orbit, right here on the Leadership Podcast. Don't go nowhere.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome back from that break. You're on to Sports Orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. Now going to football, Wale, our boy Taiwo Awoni seems to be grabbing all the headlines for the right reasons. I mean, he bagged the brace last night in the UEFA, Conference League, and also had an assist. Way to go for the young man. When he left Liverpool for, Berlin, we really expected big things from him, and looks like he's, living up to expectations.
Of course, no doubt about it. That's one thing that you have to get as a striker. You need your striker to actually always come to the party. For him to actually get to fire with all cylinders. We saw in his first game for Union Berlin, actually, he scored a screamer in that particular one. And ever since then, he has been showing, the kind of quality of player that he is at this point in time. We need to actually keep tab on him. Getting sure at this point in time, we need to keep a tab on him since we'll be having a match against Liberia.
He hasn't gotten a call up in a long time.
He has not gotten a national team
senior call up.
So at this point in time, he banked 2 goals yesterday. It shows that he's someone that wants to actually put all his best stuff for Union Berlin after the disappointing move away from Liverpool, because in Liverpool he didn't get to play any match due to the fact that he didn't secure work permit in that in that particular one. But for now, he's doing well for Union Berlin in the UEFA Confederation League and all their league matches at this point in time. This is kind of player that we want in the Super Eagles. You are as good as your last match. We just hope that injury not get to have anything, hamper him in his performance, going forward. And hopefully, we should get to see him at the end of the season banking up to 20, 25 goals for Union Berlin. Who says he can actually do it?
Well, moving forward, still on transfer news, still on Nigeria, Imaobing Uko, he just secured a loan move to Salernitana, a team that just got promotion into the Serie A. Simi used to be with Crotone.
And they weren't relegated.
They were, yeah, exactly. So, good move for him.
Of course, a good move. Every player wants to stay in the elite league. No player wants to play in the division too. Him, getting, to move, getting to go on a loan move to that club, it shows that that club had actually seen a whole lot of quality in him for them to actually want him to actually mount their striking force. So at this point in time, I feel he's going to do well in that club. We should just give him time. He's very, very tall and lanky. He's very good when it comes to the arena ball. We just hope that the team get to play his pattern so that he can actually get to score. So he can actually get to score more goals. But if they didn't actually get to play to his pattern, I think that's what is really affecting him in the Super Eagles. And even the likes of Paulo Nacho, that's really affecting, because all the players, all the wingers, they want to drive in and take the shot instead of them getting to cross the ball for him to use his head to hit the ball at the back of the net. But if they can actually play to his strength, I see him actually scoring more goals for that particular club.
We wish Imaobing Uko well, and we hope that this move will lead to a more permanent deal with the Syrian newcomers. Still on transfer, Chelsea defender Emerson has joined French Ligue 1 side Club Lyon on a season-long loan.
Of course, it just
looks like is he surplus to requirements?
Of course, it's surplus to requirement at this point in time. Despite the fact that he actually won the Euro at 2020, but we didn't actually see more action of him when he actually played for the Italian side in the recently concluded Euro 2020. But Chelsea that has a certain Marcos Alonso that has attacking Chinwell in that particular way. So it's going to be difficult. When the coming of Chinwell, he was being used by Frank Lampard, but when Tuchel actually came in, he started using Alonso because Alonso is well experienced. He can take the free kick, he can take shot from any from any part of the field. So I feel he's actually a surplus to requirement for Chelsea at this point in time. He should go to Lyon and go and have more playing time.
I'm sure this move to Lyon will signal his way out of Chelsea for good.
Of course.
Still on transfer, reports reaching us says Odegaard has successfully completed his medical at Arsenal, making him an Arsenal player.
Of course.
The young man was on loan last season with the Gunners, but the Gunners have gone a step further to make the deal permanent. Is this a good sign that the Gunners are trying to challenge for the title, or just to, boost their squad?
For the title, I feel the Arsenal will be aiming too high. Let them see how they can able to get and qualify, for the Champions League next season. We know he's a very good player. He made about 20 appearances for Arsenal when he was in loan last season, and he scored 2 goals. He scored a goal against Tottenham. I will never forget that goal. It was a brilliant goal. I feel he can actually get to do the magic in the middle of the park, because I feel this guy is just too young. When we talk about Smith Rowe, he's just too young. So I feel
to carry the weight of the midfield on his shoulders.
Of course. So he will actually play. He will actually play in the front of Thomas Partey and this guy from Switzerland at this point in time, Saka. So he will play in the front. Then Aubameyang or Lacazette will be, in front of him. So for me, it's a good move. It's a good, buy for Arsenal. He's just 22 years old, and he's even the captain of the Norway team. So I feel
a team that has a certain Erling Haaland.
Of course,
so that shows his pedigree, even in the national setup.
Of course, and we actually saw his plotting. Real Madrid is a player that actually, for me, he plays like Ozil. So I feel he can actually throw those deadly passes. He can actually take free kicks and take shots from any part of the field. So wish him all the best in Arsenal. I hope his forms continue, and he should not have injury for Arsenal going forward.
All right, moving away from that, but still on the Premier League. The Premier League, week 2 of the Premier League begins this weekend, and the match everybody seems to be talking about is that huge London derby between Arsenal and Chelsea. And reports reaching us say that Lukaku will be making his debut on his second return for Chelsea. You think this will compound Arsenal's woes? I mean, considering that they haven't started the season too well, and in just your second game after losing to Brentford, and you are facing Chelsea so early in the season with a certain Romelu Lukaku who loves to bully defenders. You think Arsenal can hold their own up against this Chelsea side?
Of course, if you actually saw the last 5 meetings between Chelsea and Arsenal had the upper hand. Arsenal won 3 of those matches. They lost 1 and they drew, the last one. So it's going to be a difficult match, because I know Lukaku will want to actually score on his Premier League return. And we know the likes of players that Arsenal has at this point in time, and their defense is still kind of shaky, because they still need a good defender who can actually match up with strikers like Lukaku. We know the likes of Gabriel is still there, is in the mix. I'm not very, very sure he's going to play in that particular one, but it's certainly Ben White. I don't see him getting to room this Lukaku, because Lukaku is the kind of player that he will actually get to take off the defender with his body, for him to actually create.
And for a big man like that, he has speed also.
Of course,
so he can be unplayable at times.
Of course, we saw his exploit during the Euro. How he was actually bullying defenders and getting to score goals. So I feel it's going to be a cracker. Arsenal should actually come to the party. We know that in their last match, Aubameyang and Lacazette was not in the party. Hopefully, we should see them coming on the field of play. Also, Thomas Partey was not in that particular match against Brentford. I think that was he should be making his return in that particular game. It's also sad that it's just so we like to say sad for Arsenal at this point in time, because their next about 3 Premier League matches, they are actually not facing the big guys are from the top 6. So Arsenal need to actually get to win this match, just for them to send signal to the rest of the team and to their fans, and to tell their fans, hey, calm down. We still have what it takes to actually compete for title in this season.
So quickly, any predictions for that big one?
The match is going to play at the Emirates Stadium. So I let me just say maybe 2-1 in favor of Arsenal.
All right, on Monday we'll be here to talk about that. Well, quickly, in other matches for the weekend, Liverpool will be at home to Burnley, while Newcastle will travel to Aston Villa. Crystal Palace will host Brentford as Everton travel to meet Leeds United. Norwich will be guests of reigning champions Man City at the Etihad, while Brighton will play host to Watford. Man United will hope to continue their fine form as they travel to St Mary's to play Southampton. Wolves will be at home to Tottenham, and West Ham will host Leicester City.
Of course, some people are saying Everton will win this Premier League. I don't know where they're actually getting it from
Why?
at this point in time, because of a
Why?
certain man talking about this former Liverpool coach that is
Rafa Benitez.
Rafa Benitez. I just feel.
But
I'm not
Carlo
sure. I'm not
Ancelotti
sure.
was there. Does he have a higher pedigree than Ancelotti?
I'm not
And
really
they didn't
sure.
even make
I'm
the
not
top
really
six.
sure if Everton will actually make it to the top six. But let's just see how it pans out, because we know that Rafa Benitez is a very experienced coach, and let's see how it goes. But it's going to be a cracker at the weekends. Live matches are back at this point in time. Football fans all over the world are very happy to see the return of football, and also fans, coming into the stadium to watch live matches.
All right. At this point, this is all we have for you today. But before we go, we want to thank our sponsors, Nimasa, for always supporting us on this show. And of course, my strike partner and co-host, Wale Ayeni. Nice to have you back.
Of course, it's nice talking sport.
And of course, to our viewers and listeners out there, thank you for staying with us. Until we come your way again on Monday with another exciting edition of Sports Orbit. Stay safe.